The Dutch then 2-1 winners over Wales. More on this one. We welcome into the show Mario Melchiot, of course, a long-time member of the Dutch national team.
I've upset a Dutchman. I didn't know Mario was here. Oh, boy.
Mario, what do you think of the performance from your former squad?
I mean, look, you know what the tricky part is? I'm sure that your chance next to you, I'm aware of that. You know, when you get the opportunity to take that chance when you're not playing that much, and I think that's why Van Gaal was protecting his team that he put out, because people were calling it here back home like a B team. He didn't want it to sound like that because he doesn't want to, you know, drop any down in the moral or in the sense of what his philosophies are. But these are clearly players that normally don't get the head start of the rest, and that's why he changed it in the second half. You could see some changes away from the Ligt, the Vrij. Those are the guys that normally have the chance. But you know, Lang, he got a chance. He normally is one of the key players that people focus on because he's got an Ajax background, go to Club Brugge, won the league. So things like that, those kind of players are now trying to break through. Weghorst we are more aware of because he plays at Burnley. But away from that, I'm saying like the team normally plays with slightly different players. And when you have people like Depay, Bergwijn up front, it's a slightly different team than when you play with Weghorst because that's more like a center point for the team.
Netherlands, of course, smashing Belgium the other day, get a win over a tough Wales squad today. What do you think of this Dutch side?
This particular one we saw today was better than Wales, but then most teams are better than Wales. Wales are a stuffy team that somehow almost every time managed to get a result, at home in particular. Now today they lost a goal with the last touch of the game, but yeah, they're just tough to break down. They're always at you, they don't lose that many goals. And so it's always going to be a tough time. So, you know, if you put your so-called B team out and you do outplay the opposition away from home and you win the game, then you have to be positive about it. So it wasn't perfect, but they won. It was away from home. And as Mario said, you know, somebody like Weghorst who doesn't get much of a chance, if he takes it, then it can only be good for him and the team.
Craig, what about this Welsh side? They're awfully hard to beat.
Not at the Euros, they weren't.
Really?
All right, they're hard to watch.
They're hard to watch. They're all about Gareth Bale and being organised and yeah, look, getting to the World Cup with the player pool that they've got is a pretty decent job. It's nice to see Brennan Johnson from Nottingham Forest getting some game time. But yeah, there's a lot of teams around, and I include, you know, out with England from the British Isles. We're talking about Scotland, we're talking about Wales, Northern Ireland, and then outside that, Republic of Ireland. They're all a hard watch. They're all a hard watch. They've all got a couple of players, but not enough. England, on the other hand, and I said this yesterday on the show, I think should be playing a lot silkier football than they are with the player pool that they have available to them, and we don't often see that. I think with these teams, Stevie Clarke with Scotland, Rob Page now with Wales, you know, you can only do so much with what you've got.
Are they favourites over the US in that group to advance?
No.
No?
I don't think so.
Odds makers have them as favourites over the US.
I don't particularly care. I don't think so. I think the US are energetic and young. Maybe
Stevie, what do you think?
Maybe with the experience and
who do you give the
Wales are not going to play out. Wales are not going to outplay the US. No. Not that the US are great, but the Wales are not.
No,
but Wales didn't outplay anybody in Euros and they advanced.
Listen, we're always complaining about how the US don't possess the ball enough or well enough. But they'll possess the ball more than Wales will when they're playing them in the World Cup. So just because of that fact, you have to think that they'll create more chances than the Welsh. And of course, if something happens to Gareth Bale between now and the World Cup, then it's like cutting somebody's arm off for Wales. So I would suggest
he's already worried. See, that's the trouble with you. You're already thinking too far ahead.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.